Arizona teacher and hubby lose their jobs after filming an OnlyFans video in class. And this is the main thing, right? They probably, like the school board or whatever, probably wouldn't have actually done something more than likely because nobody would probably really notice, except for the fact that they filmed a video in her classroom. Okay? And she's an eighth grade teacher. That is an issue, right? Now, here's the thing, if she plays her cards right, she could turn probably one of the, in quotes, worst moments of basically her life by like her losing her job, her hubby losing his job. Basically, what they really got to do is probably go super hard into making this type of content, like adult content, because they're going to have so much attention towards them that they should probably focus on making something like their own little content hub of this sort of stuff, build up social media followings, and make money that way, right? Like, because the reality is, they're probably not going to be able to get another teaching job, period, right? So, since basically everyone can already see what you look like naked and that you've already done stuff on video that people could see, why not go full hog into it and just like literally take everything and basically just create your own subscription website and put your stuff on there? And the reason why I say that, or maybe use one of the main adult websites where you could have content being sold on there and blah 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 kind of stuff, right? The main reason why I say that is because, funny enough, her OnlyFans account actually was basically disabled by OnlyFans. Now I don't know why, but I find that very interesting. There's probably, I think maybe a lot of people reported her on OnlyFans because they weren't okay with her filming stuff and basically, like, I don't know, like what, like a middle school setting, which makes perfect sense. Like, that's not okay. So then, if she can't rely on OnlyFans, which would have been the easiest way for her to actually make money, then she either needs to create her own website or use one of the main adult websites to like basically put up free content and then, or like clips or whatever, promoting her like more premium content, whatever, right? Now it actually makes more sense for her to maybe do her own website, her own subscription based website, like something that she actually has 100% ownership of, and then just basically use like any form of social media to promote it. And the reason why I say that is because if you own your own website, who's going to take your website down? No one, right? So you are able to not really be worried about your main source of income disappearing, right? So if she or her husband or whatever stumbles upon this, like, hey, think about making your own website and creating your own like content hub on there, your premium show basically, so that you can end up making enough money to live off of doing those things it without really worried that it's just going to disappear, because any of these platforms can just take them off, right? TikTok can just take them off, Twitter can just take them off, Instagram can just take them off. OnlyFans apparently can kick them off too. So it's just a very interesting thing. And honestly, she might want to go into something. I think there's things like campsites or something where it's kind of like Twitch in a way, where like you live stream, but you live stream more like adult things, so that you end up basically getting paid in some way by just live streaming. I don't really know how the cam thing works business wise. I just know that people basically donate money, I guess, or pay for something, pay for time or something. But it's just something to really think about, right? Because they've basically gotten like a black eye from this whole fiasco. So, pretty much the best route for them to take to really monopolize on all of this social media presence, all of this news presence, is to literally create a legitimate business behind this and really push hard into promoting it. So, an eighth grade teacher in Arizona and her husband have lost their school jobs after they recorded OnlyFans videos in her classroom, a side hustle she claimed was necessary to supplement their low salaries. Which, by the way, this is just an excuse, right? This is straight up just an excuse. And we're going to check out the video and whatnot, but this is just an excuse, right? Like, to be frank, since anyone can actually see the stuff that they made, she pretty much only did it because she enjoyed it, basically. Like, her and her hubby basically got off on this stuff. So, this type of an excuse is stupid, right? It's just straight up stupid. Because also, teachers actually make really good money, right? As long as you're not living beyond your means, which is the main issue. You probably were living beyond your means. You thought, well, you already probably get turned on or turned off, well, like whatever, turned on by doing this stuff, anyways. So you might as well get paid for it, kind of thing, right? Lord. So let's see. So using the alias Khloe Karter, Thunderbolt Middle School science teacher Samantha Peer uploaded the X-rated videos for her OnlyFans page, which her students found and shared among themselves. Her husband, Nautilus Elementary School fourth grade teacher Dylan Peer, also took part in the adult productions inside the Lake Havasu Unified School District building, according to the report. And again, this is the most disturbing aspect about this whole situation, right? Why are you guys doing this in like school buildings? Like, this isn't even like a college campus. It's like underage schools. Like, it's just weird. Samantha said she resigned under pressure October 31st after being placed on paid administrative leave and probation, and Dylan was let go 4 days later. And on Friday, she released a video explaining that she and her hubby resorted to creating X-rated videos because of their low salaries, which again, this is just a BS excuse. Straight up BS, right? My children are the most important thing to me, and I'm already spending countless hours outside of my contract time on extra school activities, and I don't think it's fair that I have to sacrifice my own children's time because our professional salary did not pay enough, she said. Again, personally think that's an excuse. So, this is the statement. So, let's actually check out the statement.
My children are the most important thing to me, and I'm already spending countless hours outside of my contract time on extra school activities, and I don't think it's fair that I have to sacrifice.
By the way, this is scripted, right? Like, this statement is 100% scripted. And you know why it's 100% scripted? You could quite literally see her eyes moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Because she's reading it line by line by line. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to make a statement like this, don't write it out. Be like taking, like, just like say it from the heart. Like, hey, we did this, and oh well, basically, right? I'd have more respect for someone to basically make a statement saying, like, hey, screw it up, this is what we did, and just try to move on from that. But no, just like, just a fake statement is just annoying.
My own children's time because our professional salary did not pay enough. Arizona is currently ranked 50th state as lowest paid teacher salary. I created content at the beginning of the summer in order to earn extra money on the side to help pay for our basic necessities that our salaries were no longer meeting. I chose an anonymous name as well as blocking the entire state of Arizona on my OnlyFans so that it wasn't accessible to anyone living in the state. It was brought to my attention on October 24th that a community member had expressed concerns to the police and my school regarding video content.
Okay. Now, let's see, let's see. So the teacher admitted she created explicit content in a classroom and advertised it, but claimed she did so after school hours on the weekend with no students present. It was unclear how the students found her content, which they circulated among themselves. Bum 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 bum. Let's see, 2 days later, I had asked that an individual that was assigned to my case be removed because they had created a hostile work environment between me and the other coworkers for several years during my employment. I did not feel safe with them knowing this information, and I thought that they would spread it in retaliation for their own personal vendetta. Ba, 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 ba. She said she was told if she resigned before a school board meeting, this district would not publicize this sordid matter, but the images were then shared among teachers. These teachers were also telling students my anonymous name and showing them my page, Samantha alleged. This was also sent to the parents, and they decided to do the same thing as well. And on November 7th, the school notified the parents about students sharing the explicit videos. It has come to our attention that students have been airdropping explicit material. The images did not happen during the school day, and the person depicted no longer works for ALHUSD. Please remove all images from your child's phone and talk with them about the appropriate use of technology, it added. Let's see, no criminal charges have been filed against the educator, the news outlet said. I am absolutely outraged. Our kids shouldn't have been exposed to this, said Aaliyah Bilski, the mother of an 8th grader, adding that Samantha's account was linked to her non alias social media pages. See, that is an issue, right? It would be one thing if that it wasn't linked to her Instagram, not a link to like her Twitter or whatever, right? But this is the thing, right? Like if you are a teacher of underage kids and in your social media that they can access, they can tell, they're like, "Oh, what do you know? My teacher on her Instagram has a link tree to what is this in OnlyFans? Oh my god. So shocking that this would exist right there, right? Like, did she really think that no one of her students would like go to her Instagram or something and click on the link there to see her stuff? Or just do basically a search for her stage name or whatever? Like, this is the thing. Like, if you're a teacher, be smarter. Like, be smarter. Like, here's the thing. If you're like a college teacher, no issue, really, right? But it's the fact that they are teachers of like younger people, which makes this like a bigger issue than it probably would have been if it was like a different setting. But again, what they're really going to have to do is basically lean super hard into creating content to make a lot of money because they're probably, again, never going to get a teaching job ever again, and that's what they were trained to do. Let's see. If it was just an OnlyFans account, I wouldn't be as upset because then that would be 100% on the kid's parent. But this was public in an easy Google search to find everything, Bilski told the News Herald. Another parent, Christina Miner, said Samantha was sharing these links to her site on her social media accounts, which are public, on which children follow her. Miner said the teacher used her school yearbook photo. Hold on, wait. Miner said the teacher used her school yearbook photo on OnlyFans on a post that says, "Who wants to be my next teacher's pet?" I am a taxpayer. I am not paying these teachers to film adult stuff. They're being paid to teach our kids and set higher standards for them, she said. And school spokeswoman Andrea Hillart told the News Herald that the district cannot comment on personal matters. Let's see. Okay, so this is the thing. This is basically, I guess, her new Instagram account because she had to create a new Instagram account, right? And it's Chloe the accountant, right? And here's the thing. I don't have anything against her, like at all. Like personally, I don't really care one way or the other. It's just like as a teacher, you probably should have been smarter in how you went about this. And the sad thing is, like, she is basically like her and her hubby are basically getting like really attacked and whatnot for this sort of stuff, right? On, I guess it's not loading. But basically, on almost all of her posts, there's someone basically making like horrible comments. Mainly this one, right? But yeah, but here on the Twitter, let's see. Which, by the way, it seems like she and her hubby are trying to actually basically go down the route that I was basically saying that she'd probably have to go down, which is be more in the adult space, pretty much. Let's see. So this is the update, everyone, in response to comments regarding my official statement.
Hello, my name is Samantha Peer, or you might know me as my alias Khloe Karter, and I just wanted to give a little update.
Which, by the way, funny enough, like she's like quite seriously, pretty much really promoting her alias, stage name, whatever, basically, right? She's going to go full blown down this route, pretty much.
After hearing some comments that were made about my statement. So, the biggest concern that I read was a lack of remorse.
Hold on, let's see. Can we like speed this up? Yeah, because I don't want to. Yeah, two times speed.
And I know this was a very big mistake. I've never defended myself saying that it was an okay thing to do. Looking back at it, I would never do that again. But I also am a person and I do make mistakes too. And although this was a very big mistake, this isn't who I am and it doesn't define who I will be in the future.
The thing is, I mean, like you recorded yourself doing some adult stuff, and based off the very, 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 very little research done in this video that I've done, she definitely enjoyed it, to put it lightly.
I've been a teacher for 7 years, and 5 of those 7 years were in Lake Havasu, teaching 8th grade science. And before this incident, if you had asked anybody, my coworkers, my former students, my current students, I'm really confident that they would tell you I was very passionate about my job and I was very good at it. I have an undergraduate degree in biology and I have my master's in secondary education. I'm very highly qualified to teach what I do. And the last several years I've had very high evaluations. I was very, very good at teaching science, but I also cared deeply about my students. And I cared for them as much as I cared for my own 2 children. I cared how they performed not only in my classroom but their other classes. I would constantly check in with their other teachers, especially those that I know needed that extra care. I loved watching them grow from the fall all the way to the spring. That age group is so amazing to me because they change so much. They become young adults in that time. And I'm very upset that I don't get to watch this group of students. This group of students was very special to me. And I miss them every day. I was very passionate about the job. It brought me so much joy. It was all I talked about when I would get home because it was just so amazing. Every single part. My coworkers, my principals, my students, the whole thing was so great. And if I could go back and take it back, I would. Because I should.
The thing is, to be frank, she wouldn't go back and take it back, really, right? Because this is the thing. It would be one thing if she did it to truly make a real go at it to make money, right? But when you have such a small social media presence and you do something like that and you put it on your public thing, you are mainly doing it because you get off on it, right? And I'm not judging someone for like getting off on that stuff, right? But the reality is you liked making the videos. That's the reality, right? And again, a lot of people probably wouldn't even care about her husband making these types of videos, but the real issue is one, you're a teacher where your students can literally go to your social media profile, click a link, and basically be able to see adult content, which they shouldn't. Also, it's like, it's just so stupid to film yourself and your husband in the classroom that you teach in. Like, oh God. And I think like I read one article where like one of the students complained that they did something on her desk. It's like it's so crazy.
Should be with my fifth period right now. I should be teaching about magnets, but I'll never do that again. And I pay the price every single day. Of course, I'm remorseful. I miss it a lot. I've never asked for sympathy. I just want to move on with my life because this is not where I want it to be, and it hurts every day.
But see, here's the thing, right? If her adult stuff was like bringing in 20 grand a month, she probably wouldn't care about teaching at all. Period. The reality is, her and her husband probably have not gotten to the point where they're actually making a living from the content, which is an issue, right? Like, this isn't a situation where the one UFC fighter, no, no, the bare knuckle boxer girl basically like flashed her tatas, right? Because in that scenario, she already had a social media presence. She was already making good money from her OnlyFans content, and basically her flashing her chest to the crowd and whatnot became news. So she basically already had money coming in, and it basically just pretty much she basically already had a fire lit, and someone, the news companies, whatever, basically poured gasoline onto the fire. So she basically went from like making a few grand per month, which is like a livable income, to basically like 20 to 40 grand in a single month, right? And it's probably escalating more and more and more, right? And here's the thing, if this lady, this teacher, and her hubby were to actually set things correctly, they could turn this really, really bad scenario into something that could potentially provide a very good income for themselves to where they don't have to worry about trying to find a job, right? Because then they would just basically be their own business owners. And this is also a good reason why you should be out of debt and be having like a really thick emergency fund, like a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, in case you were to get fired for whatever reason. Hopefully not this type of situation, but for whatever reason you might get fired for.
I'm tired of the adults who are so hypocritical. We're people, we're supposed to make mistakes. My mistake, and I'm going to learn from it. But it's not fair that my name and my family have to be dragged across the nation. I have people calling and texting me, threatening to come after me, to show up to my house, to go after my 4 and 7 year old. It's not fair to them.
Yeah, and I will say this because like when I was like checking out her Instagram or whatever, some of the comments on there were horrendous. Like absolutely horrendous. Like come on. Don't like threaten people, don't like do crazy things, don't like accuse people of some really weird stuff or whatever. But the thing is like this wasn't a mistake on her part though. Like this is the thing, right? It was not a mistake on her part. She willingly did it. She willingly did it multiple times. She chose to do it. She made multiple videos, right? She recorded herself, and she was just too stupid to understand that you probably shouldn't link that stuff to your public social media. You know? You probably should have created, I don't know, maybe like an alias for your content so that it's completely separate. Also, have you ever thought about, I don't know, maybe wearing a mask so no one could recognize you? like, you got to think about it like that too, right? All of her content pieces have her face with her doing stuff, right? It's not like she's trying to hide her identity while she's making the stuff, which people need to understand. Is like, no, you purposely chose to do this. You purposely chose to make the videos, and you were just too stupid to realize that, I don't know, maybe that your students would be on your Instagram and clicking your stuff. Maybe you're not tech savvy at all. I don't know.
Yes, I am still advertising because it's not safe for me to leave my house. I am guessing it's probably impossible for me to get a job within town. This is what I have to do if my family wants to be fed. I can't sit and do nothing and let my children starve. That's heartless. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to my students because I care about you guys so much. I didn't get to
Like, this is like the sad thing too, but I bet that there are parents of those kids that probably subscribe to her stuff.
say goodbye, and I'll never get to talk to you again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I've been trying to get back to people as quickly as I can.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? The main thing to really understand about this, because we are always talking about finances, right? If you're working a job, no matter what job it is, make sure that you get debt free, which, by the way, if you want to learn how to do that, go down below and learn how. But you want to be debt free. You want to have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, and then you want to start automatically investing your money for your future. But you want to set your finances, your financial foundation right, so that if worst comes to worst, you have at least some time to try to figure out your next path, your next few steps, right? Because in this scenario, let's say that they were living paycheck to paycheck. What options do they really have available to them? Probably not a lot. So that would probably force them to end up doing adult content, whether they wanted to or not. Now, the reality, if they really want to capitalize on all this like media attention, the smartest thing for them to actually do is to go as hard as possible in making content of that nature, driving traffic to basically their site to make a lot of money. Because another way to really look at it, if they have a subscription website with this sort of stuff, right, and they only have 1,000 people paying them $20 a month, that's $20,000 a month. Okay, that is a lot of money per year. A lot of money. Even if they only have 1,000 people paying her $10 a month, right? That's $10,000 a month, which means that's $120,000 a year. That's still a really good income that would allow them to basically move pretty much anywhere they want to with maybe more security, more privacy, right? They could work from home. They don't necessarily got to really go try to find another job. They could just focus on their adult online business, right? And also, it's recurring revenue, which is a great way to make money, is to have it constantly getting paid, right? So, for example, technically, there's a lot of YouTube channels that have recurring revenue, because if you're like a member on like a YouTube channel and you pay like $5, $10, whatever per month, that's recurring revenue as well. So some of these like YouTube channels are making thousands upon thousands of dollars every single month with a very small following. So here's the thing. She needs to really focus on driving traffic to a subscription website of hers that she could pretty much control and either sell customized videos or really push hard in the recurring revenue model and try to make as much money as possible. Try to milk as much milk from this udder as possible so that you don't got to really ever worry about money ever again. Because the reality is, it is going to be extremely difficult for them to find a like typical 9 to 5 job. Period. It is going to be hard for them to do that. So that's the route that they have to basically go to, and they need to take it very seriously. Like, very seriously.